In this video, we're going to be talking about the topic of letting go and the letting go technique. And more importantly, the top 5 mistakes that people make when they try to let go, when they try to apply the letting go technique. They might read the book Letting Go by David R. Hawkins, and be illuminated, right? Have a lot of mental epiphanies, and then they try to let go, and for some reason, it's just not working. If you're someone who's tried to let go for a long period of time, you discovered how to let go and you've been trying to apply how to let go and it's just not working for you in the ways you want when it comes to letting go, then this live video is for you. And by the way, can we get a count for how many times I said the word letting go and let go? Oh, feels good. And yes, before you even commented, it is a live video. So welcome to the live stream. See a few people here. Hi, Julien first. What's up, Julien? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And before we dive deep, can we get a like for the man, the myth, the legend? Can we get 2 likes? Can we get a like and a comment? Let's say that. Your likes, in case you didn't know this, actually have a lot of influence on how many people will see this video and whether this will change a lot of lives or just a few. So if you could just hover over that little like button here below, tap it and just own it, and comment below this video, of course, your biggest takeaway, what spoke to you. If there was a mistake you were making that you're like, oh, thank you for that, this will change everything, comment it below. I love reading through that. I personally read through every single comment, for real, every single one. So comment below, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and buckle your seatbelt because we are going deep. And if you've been following these live streams for a while, you know how deep we're going. So that being said, let's just jump right into it. Let's get into the meat of it. Let's get into the juice. No dilly-dallying. Top 5 mistakes people make when it comes to letting go, when it comes to applying the letting go technique. You might have tried letting go. You might have even tried listening to a meditation, tried doing it yourself, tried applying what you read in the book Letting Go by David Hawkins, and it might not be working the way you want. This is why. And these are mistakes that I see in clients starting out all the time. Okay, so number 1 mistake is that people try to only let go in the moment around things that they are consciously aware of. That's the number 1 mistake. Now, will this produce some results? Yes. Okay, of course it will. It's much better than expressing, trying to numb, right, how you feel, trying to escape how you feel. It's much better than that. However, it doesn't get to the cause. And I have so many clients who join, for example, my coaching program, and they start out, and this is the classic story. You know, I've been trying to let go for, a few months, a year, a few years, and I made some progress, but, I'm here because it's just not giving me what I want. What am I doing wrong? And I always ask them about this, and the first thing they say is, I kind of, I like the book Letting Go. I've read that. I also love The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. That's another great book, and I just let go in the moment. Whenever there's some sensations or some emotions that I don't really like that much, I'll just ask myself, can I let go of this? And I'll breathe into them, and I feel much better after. That's the traditional way, right? You'll even see on YouTube, by the way, I did a quick scroll to see what was out there, and everyone's like, the letting go technique explained, and it's like, it's too complicated. Just let go, right? And the advice around this is just terrible, terrible. If he were still alive, right? So it's a good first step. However, here's the problem. If you're doing that and you're only trying to let go in the moment with what you're presently feeling, right? Or things you're consciously aware of, you're not really getting to the cause. Because here's what happens, okay? Think of every single one of us as having a certain reservoir, a certain tank. And in that tank, that's where we put all the stuff that we disown, that we resist, right? The things we suppress and repress, we stuff all that down there, and we try to go about our lives. And let's just say, as an example, there's a lot of anger stuffed down in that tank. You're walking around, and you're just like holding it all down, like, life's good. Hey, how's it going? Doing good. Stuffing the anger down, And what tends to happen, this is when people get triggered, for example, or when something comes up that they don't like, is there's an event that will cause some anger. And it's like that famous saying, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. That's the bit of anger that just made the thing overflow and poof, it shoots up. And then what do people do? Oh my gosh, it's shooting up. Let me let go of this. And then they let go enough for it to just go right under that limit. And then they go along with their day. But guess what? The tank's still full. And then the next thing's going to happen. It'll be the next straw. And then they let go of that. And what's happening is they're only letting go of straws. They're not emptying the tank. And if you want to go a level deeper here, and this is something that Mr. Hawkins does not discuss, or does not discuss to the extent in which I personally think he should, is the difference between the conscious and the subconscious. You see, most people try to only let go of things they're aware of consciously. Oh, I don't like this, I don't feel this, I don't like feeling this way, there's this problem, oh, I know I'm attached to this, but they never address these subconscious patterns. So it's a lot deeper, right? It's not just, hey, can I let go? Let me take a few deep breaths. No, you need to go deep and start finding ways to access what's in that reservoir, right? What is in your subconscious? And it's not just you sitting down and meditating. It involves a lot of different processes, a lot of action involved processes, right? On a mental side, this means a lot of introspection, right? Understanding the conscious subconscious, how to dive into the subconscious. On the action side, it's following the action, trigger, release, repeat. Combine that with following the trail of whys. These are all processes that I teach, by the way. Once you get it, it's so easy. But if you don't incorporate this, good luck, right? So following the trail of whys, following back to earlier experiences, right? When's a previous time? When's the first time? As well as doing a deeper sweep and combining letting go with, of course, breaths in the moment, but also guiding yourself and even compartmentalizing the way you guide yourself in different levels to access what's down there. So that's the first big one. If you're just, taking a few breaths, letting go in the moment of what you're consciously aware of, if you aren't crystal clear on what's the conscious, what's the subconscious, right? And all the different processes that involve a lot of action and introspection to really start clearing that reservoir, you're simply going to be letting go of straws. That's mistake number one, and that's the first thing that I correct in the majority of my clients. Okay, now I'm just checking the chat here. Let's see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Julien. How do we empty the tank, right? So it's what I talked about here, right? That involves a lot of experiential processes, from action, trigger, release, repeat, which I've talked about many a times. I like following the trail of whys. There's many introspective exercises. It's basically this whole process that one must go through. And that's really the hardest part, because once you understand the subconscious as well, and this is a famous saying in the self-help spiritual world, there's what you know, right? That's conscious. There's what you don't know, conscious, right? Hey, I know I don't know that. But then there's what you don't know. That's the reservoir. You got to be aware of that first. Otherwise, letting go is not going to do that much. Okay, so that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is focusing on thoughts and not sensations. Okay, so try this out, right? If you go in the YouTube browser and you're like, how do I let go of, you're going to see a million things. And people tend to gravitate towards thoughts, right? How do I let go of negative thinking, negative thoughts, right? How do I let go of, someone I love? How do I let go of an ex? How do I let go of a past relationship? How do I let go of the past and a memory and this? And it's all on the mental level. Now, this is, once more, a good first step, but you can't let go by directing your attention to thoughts. You can't, okay? You cannot let go with the mind. The way you let go is, sure, you have to identify thoughts, patterns, memories, so on and so forth. That's a must. But from there, you need to bring your awareness to the different sensations going on. Okay, you can write this down. Letting go happens on a felt sensation level, not a thought mental level. And this means you don't want to focus on thoughts, because also what happens if you focus on a thought, right? You're going to think of a million other thoughts that are similar. Thoughts are endless, they're self-reinforcing. It's an endless trap that you just get sucked into, right? For example, if you're like, well, let me think of something that I don't like. You know what else I don't like? Boom. And you know what else I don't like? And what else I don't like? And it's endless. So not thoughts, not emotions, because with emotions, you're still engaging the mind, but sensations. Sensations are what come before emotions, right? Sensations, you can locate them in the body. It's you can be very precise, right? Like a little tingling, you know, ooh, a little bit of tenseness in my stomach, you know, ooh, my heart's beating faster. Those are sensations. When different sensations kick in, what we do is the mind analyzes what is the list of sensations and then places a label on those sensations, and the labels are the emotions. You don't want to focus on emotions because that engages the mind. You're labeling it. You want to focus on the sensations. So the mantra that everyone should have when going through a letting go meditation, when going through a letting go release, is what are the sensations? What are the associated sensations? Oh, you think of a memory? Great. What are the sensations? Oh, here's a thought that came up? Great. What are the sensations? And when you let go of the sensations, you release the charge behind them, then all of the associated, you could say the label, the emotion fades away as well, and all the associated thoughts fade away too. So think of, you have all these thoughts, the files, you're looking for the folders. Let go of the folders, sensations, handles the rest. That's the second big mistake. Too many people try to focus on thoughts directly. Okay. Mistake number 3 is being very outcome focused. So what does this mean? It means going into a letting go meditation, a release, with an outcome that you're very attached to, right? You go into it and you're like, well, I'm going to try to let go of approval. Yeah, I'm going to let go of approval. Here we go. I know that approval has been running me for quite some time. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to let go of approval. Because I know it's running me, I know the sensations are going to be really intense. Let's do this. And that's not good. You can go with an intention, sure, but then during the actual letting go process, you can't have any outcome attachment. You must let yourself be surprised, because here's 2 things. Number 1, if you have an outcome, you're focused like, where is it, right? This is what I want. Where is it? You're missing the actual gold. And then the second thing is people tend to, especially when they're outcome driven, be really attached to experiencing intense sensations when letting go, right? They want to experience a ton. When they do the meditation, like, oh, here we go, roller coaster ride. And then they might be disappointed and they're like, well, I didn't experience all that craziness. Some other people did, but not me. What's wrong? Well, what's wrong is you had an outcome in mind. You were looking for those intense sensations, and by doing so, you missed what was actually there. And here's the big thing to understand here. Intense sensations or subtle sensations, it doesn't matter. None are better. The goal is not to experience intense. It's not to experience subtle. It's to experience what's there. So you can have an intention. Hey, you know what? I want to focus on desire, right? The need for approval. That's your intention. But when you go into it, no outcome in mind, you let yourself be surprised and you honor what is there. And then to help this too, especially if you could say letting go of a lot of resistance, there tends to be layers of resistance. What people do is they get very discouraged because oftentimes when letting go of resistance, it feels like nothing's there. And they start breathing into it. They're like, oh, I don't feel much. I don't feel much. Yet little do they know that's resistance. And they associate subtle sensations with not accomplishing as much as intense sensations. But that's not true. Okay, here's a very simplified model. Okay, it doesn't really work like this. Very simplified. But let's just say hypothetically, to let go of one thing, you need to do 10 letting go meditations. Okay? You need to apply the letting go technique 10 times, hypothetically. And let's just say out of those 10 times, this is the way the universe created that situation. Oh, I want to let go of this. The first 9 meditations are going to be very subtle. You're not going to experience much. It might even feel like you're not feeling anything. And then on meditation 10, it gets really intense. Now here's what happens. People start, they do meditation 1, 2, 3, and they're like, nothing's happening. It's subtle. Yet they don't realize to access meditation 10, when it's intense, they have to go through the first 9 ones of being subtle. And overall, there is no better one. They all accomplish the same thing. Those subtle ones is what allows you to go to the intense one. So that's mistake number 3. Let go of any outcome, any attachment to intense sensations, honor whatever is there authentically. Okay, and once more, if you want to learn more about this, right, there was that question before, like what are the processes? If you want to know the exact processes that I use myself, if you want to have access to the exact meditations that I use myself, I don't have a secret chest, by the way. It's all available to you. Simply go to JulienMentoring.com. Okay, you can go there to one, if you'd like to apply to join my private mentoring group. But if that's not an option for you for some reason, you can just go there and book a free coaching call. And on that coaching call, you'll get access to a free letting go meditation. And that's one, guess what, that I do myself from time to time. So if you go to JulienMentoring.com, fill out the application, do the free call, get the free meditation, go from there. Okay, it's completely free. But if you do decide to take it further and say join the actual mentoring, within that mentoring, those are the exact meditations that I use and the exact processes. And it's always funny because especially when people first join, I'm correcting all their mistakes, right? It's like, oh, okay, that's why it didn't work. Okay, let's see what's going on. What are the patterns? And then I really guide them through this, right? I learn about them. I coach them through it the entire time. And I give them everything that I have. And people are always surprised when I first tell them like, hey, so the meditations that you're doing here, those are the ones I listen to. They're like, wait, what? I thought you would have a secret vault. I'm like, no. It's all here. So if this speaks to you, JulienMentoring.com, book a free call. Okay. And if you're just joining now, please consider liking the video. If you like the man, the myth, the legend, you know, brother from another mother's, give us a like. Give us a like. You want to let go? Like this. Can you imagine if I actually did a video and I started it out like, I curse thee. Unless you like this video, you shall never be able to let go. Now, you can choose to believe that or not, but hey, I wouldn't take my chances. Want to let go? Like the video. All right, let's get to... I'm just scrolling through some of the chat here. Let's see. I asked this question today. Awesome, great. What if there's no emotions? Is that normal? So actually, I love this question, right? What if there's no emotions? Now, don't look for emotions as we talked about. Look for sensations, right? What comes before emotions. And this is classic resistance, right? People experience this when they first start out. They'll do a meditation, and especially due to the way that we're conditioned, right? We're all conditioned to live up here. Very few people occupy their entire body. It's all this mental. So it can take time to learn how to feel again. And what your mind will tell you is, there are no sensations, right? Just like what you're asking here. I don't feel anything. And for that, you got to call out your mind and realize that that's impossible, right? If your mind's telling you that, I don't feel anything, then your job, as we discussed here, is to follow the mantra. What are the associated sensations to that? Oh, you don't feel anything? What does that feel like? No emotions are coming. Well, what does that feel like? Oh, I'm frustrated. It's not intense. Well, what does that feel like? What are the sensations? And remember, there are always sensations. For your mind to be right, for there to be zero sensations, you would be dead. The only way for there to be zero sensations is for your body to be cold and dead. At that point, yeah, no sensations. Until then, just by the mere fact of being alive, there are sensations. Right now, there are sensations. You're watching this in the moment, there are sensations. So you can remind your mind of that and then go back to the mantra, which we talked about here. What are the associated sensations? Okay. Now, mistake number 4. People confuse letting go with trying to get rid of. And it's easy to interpret letting go that way, right? It's like, hey, you're letting go, you're getting rid of, right? There's this thing you want to let go of, you want to get rid of it. The same with healing, right? You want to heal it. You want to release it. It's all this jargon and lingo, and you can, again, thank the people who, you know. But anyways, here's the key. When you hear letting go, it's not the act of getting rid of. Letting go ultimately is accepting, embracing, loving unconditionally. Letting go really means letting go of the attachment and the resistance towards different things, and it's the act of not doing. So here's the big mistake. People think that by default they aren't doing anything, and then, oh, there's this thing that's not very pleasant, I want to let go of it, right? But here's the problem. By doing that, you're labeling it as bad. By labeling it as bad, you're resisting it, and whatever you resist persists. So here's the problem. It's the original assumption. By default, you aren't doing nothing. By default right now, you are stuffing stuff down. You're resisting things within yourself, and you're attached to other aspects of yourself. That's the default. Right now, there's this attachment and resistance going on. What is letting go? It's taking a moment and no longer doing that. Letting go isn't taking and getting rid of. Letting go is no longer being attached, no longer resisting. This goes back to Buddhism. No attachments, no aversions. And this is what you realize. All the stuff that's down there, it's down there because of the attachment and the resistance. If you simply stopped hanging on to and resisting, it would leave. All the stuff that's down there that you want to let go of, it wants to leave. It's waiting to leave. It's begging you to say, hey, just let me leave. Why do you still hang on to me, whether it's by attachment or by whatever you resist persists in me? Why? Just let me go. You have to just allow it to leave. Nothing's permanent. Nothing stays the same without our vening of attachment and resistance. So when it comes to letting go, and this really translates to step 2 when it comes to letting go, right? Remember, number 1, be aware of what you want to let go of. Number 2, allow yourself to experience it fully. Number 3, let it come up and let it out. Allow yourself to experience fully is very simple but hard to do, due to the fact they're always being attached and always resisting. So the challenge is when things come up, you're going to have to surrender to them. And it's not let me get rid of, it's let me sink into this. Let me feel this. Without wanting to change it, without wanting to make sense of it, label it, understand it, get rid of it, fix it, heal it. What about just let it be? And that's really what happens. It's like, you think of that reservoir, if you just bring it into your awareness and you just don't do, all that charge fades away. It's like a balloon that slowly deflates. And that's the big one. Letting go is the act of not doing. Letting go is allowing, experiencing. You're letting go of the attachment and the resistance you're not getting rid of. If your intention going into letting go is always to get rid of, you'll never get rid of the thing because you're just resisting it every time you try to let go of it. Okay? That one there, game changer if this clicks. And once more, if you'd like to learn more about this, make sure you go to JulienMentoring.com. You can book a free coaching call. You can ask questions, learn a lot more about this process and letting go, and you'll also get a free letting go meditation when you attend the call. Okay, this is a meditation that I use myself. Go to JulienMentoring.com. I'm just scrolling through the chat here. Anyone think Julien still gets triggered? I do. I definitely do. All right, I still get triggered. I'm still doing the work myself. I'm by no means perfect. I by no means am on the top of the mountain. Oh, look up at me, peasants. No, at all. Of course I still do. But way less than I used to and way less than almost everyone I know. No, this work, game changer. Game changer. And actually this leads us, love that you asked this question. This leads us to mistake number 5. We talked about before being outcome, right, oriented. Here's mistake number 5, being destination oriented, being destination driven, where people come into this and they discover letting go, the letting go technique. They might read the book, right? Letting Go by David Hawkins. I love how many times I'm saying letting go in this video. We're just going to see how many letting goes we can just casually drop, just like Super Troopers with Meow. How you doing? Letting go good. I think I could get away with that. Hey, you doing? Letting go. Would you like to order something? No, I can't. Look at that. So, if I didn't get triggered, I could. Mistake number 5, what do I mean by destination driven? You find out about this and you keep obsessing over when you'll finally make it, right? When will I never be triggered again? When will I let go completely? When will I heal completely? And by doing so, you really view the process of letting go as this chore, this thing you must do to get somewhere. And that just makes things worse too, right? Because now you fall into the same trap where most people, they have all these requirements, right? I need to feel this, I need to accomplish this, I need money. And then what you're doing is you're using letting go as another requirement. You're using something that's meant to help you as a way where it's hurting you. You're like, and I need to let go of all this. And it reinforces that destination thinking, right? The I'll be happy when, and that goes against the process, right? So letting go isn't this chore. Letting go is a moment where you fully feel you. It's a moment of acceptance. Letting go is the destination, right? And the goal too isn't to let go of everything. The goal isn't to never get triggered. The goal is to live a more fulfilling life, to experience more fulfillment. That's the goal. And guess what? You don't have to let go of everything to experience a lot more fulfillment and a lot more success in all areas of life. So don't aim for that. You're confusing the goal here. Like, oh, it has to be perfect. It's like, no. You're missing the point of this. And here's the beauty too. Here's what happens, right? When people ask me, Julien, when will I let go completely? The answer I always love giving them is when you stop asking the question. And I love this answer because it sounds very, it's just like the worst, the last thing you want to hear, like what? But it's also the most accurate one, where here's the thing. The reason you'll stop asking the question is this. By you asking the question, when will I let go completely? What motivates that question? What motivates it is the fact that you're not happy and fulfilled with who you are and where you are right now. I don't like the right here, right now. Happy future, happy destination. When will I let go completely and reach that destination? But if you start letting go properly, again, the whole theme here is if you're making these mistakes, you can let go as much as you want. Years will go by and nothing will change. This is also why it's so important to get feedback, guidance, and a coach. No joke. But say you go into that, like when will I let go? It's like say you do it actually properly. What happens is you actually start feeling better and more fulfilled with who you are. And the more that happens, guess what? Now there's less of a need to go anywhere else, to want to be anywhere else because you're happy with where you are, right? I'm not happy right now. When will I let go completely? By letting go, I'm happy, and suddenly that question stops popping up because you're happy. Only someone who isn't happy is looking for that happy ending. You are the happy ending. You've made it. So that's really letting go. It's not about getting anywhere. It's about realizing you are here. You are already there. Finish line's on the future. You've already passed it. Let go of everything that's telling you you haven't. That is really the process. Okay. Someone's like, let go of your fingers and hit the like button. That's right. If there's any resistance, take a deep breath and hit that like. And of course, it's a two-part, right? Here's curse number 2. You remember curse number 1? If you don't like this video, you'll never be able to let go. Curse number 2. If you don't comment under this video with your biggest takeaway, whatever spoke to you the most, whatever you want to comment, you will never be able to let go. So make sure you comment, right? If you're watching this live, the chat doesn't count. You have to actually comment when this is over, or else. Someone's like, Julien, how can I get coaching with you? Who do I reach out to this? Easy. Simply go to JulienMentoring.com. This here is great whether you decide to pursue coaching with me or not. If you go to that link or just click the link below this video in the description, you can book a free coaching call. This is for anyone, right? Because people sometimes ask me, it's like, hey, and there's comments and there's questions. And I always tell them, like, look, if it's an important question and a key one, you're going to want a good nuanced answer. And the best way to get a good nuanced answer isn't in the written form, it's talking to someone. So no matter who you are here, book a free call, right? Go to that link, book a free coaching call, and you'll get for free, this is 100% free, you'll get a call and you'll get a free letting go meditation. One of the meditations that I personally use myself. So there really is no excuse, right? People are like, how do I let go? I just don't have the meditations. Yo, there's a free meditation right there. You have no excuse. Hey, you want to let go like me? Go get the call. So your head's straight, you got your mindset right going into this, and you get the meditation. And then, of course, if you want to go further and explore all the processes, the real stuff I do, work with me personally, then talk to the person on that call and just tell them that. And they'll direct you towards the best option for you. But regardless of whether you do that, do the free call, get the free meditation, literally free value, right? It's like going up to someone who's like very broke. I'm like, hey, do you want free value? Do you want free money? Just go to the link. And be like, I don't know. It's like, regardless, for me, that's one where I understand a lot of psychology and how people work. And once more, it's like what you invest in, you focus on. So for my real coaching, yeah, that's not free. But on an integrity level, I always wanted at least the bare minimum for results to be available to everyone, which is why I put so much free content out on YouTube, and also why I have this free coaching call and the free meditation. So no matter who you are, you might be in a spot in your life where it's tough and you don't have money. You can't afford coaching, but you can afford this. So regardless, whoever you are, get the free coaching, one call. Don't think that's the mentoring for free. No, it's a one free coaching call, one meditation. You get the MP3. And if you want to work further, the call is the best way to start. Boom, boom. Okay. So, peachy, wasn't it? Let's see. Someone's like, I booked a call but never got the free call. Just book it again. Yeah, we reach out to everyone. It's possible that maybe something happened in the system. Like, book it again. You're good. Okay. Well, people, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you apply this. If you're someone who has been practicing letting go, as I mentioned in the very beginning, and you haven't been getting the results you want, this is really why. And if this doesn't fix it, then once more, whether it fixes or not, jump on the free call, get some real feedback. Because, I hate these horror stories of people who try to let go and nothing happens. I see it again with clients who start. It's like, hey, I've been doing it for 2 or 3 years, and then we find out they've been doing it the wrong way. And if they just had that one simple shift, getting into it 2 or 3 years ago, they would have been much more successful and much more happier and fulfilled. So don't let that be you. Okay. Someone's like, 5 mistakes. Are there more? There actually are more. But these are the 5 big ones. You want the nuanced ones? JulienMentoring.com. And of course, like the video to avoid the curse is, comment as well. And until next time, hey? Until next time. And again, David Hawkins, amazing. If you haven't read this book, definitely check it out. My #1 all-time book of all time. I don't agree with everything in it, but this book is the best. Peace.
Like, this program is such a game changer. The way everything's structured and the material, it's been already, even for me, it's just been, I'm noticing a crazy change in the way that my whole life's like playing out.
What you put together is just incredible. There's nothing like that.
I've just jumped like a million levels. It's just been a complete 180 for my experience of existing. That's awesome.
It's just been so huge in terms of so many of the things I'm finally understanding and realizing, and epiphanies I'm having.
What you do is a huge inspiration to me, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things you can give to another human in this entire world.
You saved my life, man. I'm telling you, this is real, man.
Sometimes all it takes is just one person who believes in you. Find people who are where you are in life and model them, work with them. I would not be here if I didn't have people who held me accountable.
Wow.
I just felt a click and things are changing.
This program was just top notch.
Seriously, like, this is a masterpiece. This is perfect.
Everything, the way it's set up, the live calls, like all the support from the coaches is incredible.
It's been nuts.
I just had like tears of joy.
This was the
best decisions I ever made.
Thank you for creating something wonderful like this.
This program was phenomenal.
This program was amazing.
This program has definitely changed my life.
I know for a fact I'm in the right place.
This is exactly what I was expecting from the program.
It's been spectacular.
I feel really lucky to have found you.
Thank you so much, Julien. It's worth every dollar.